Hello everyone, here's Anjali alias Angelina. I would like to draw to your attention my short astrological analysis of the coming year 2024. If this video was useful, please like and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you and let's start. The older a person gets, the more fleeting the perception of time becomes for him or her. Here we see this year is coming to its end, and on the threshold is the next one, the 2024. Let's see what this slot represents according to Vedic astrology. I don't know if it will be a delight or dismay, but the year 2024 is a kind of Irish twin of 2023. His Lagna, ascendant, is in the same place, in the rational Virgo, and in the laborious and dexterous nakshatra Hasta. Her symbol is a clenched fist. Also in 2024, there will be a determination to control ideally everything. Her deity is Savita or Savitri, one of the manifestations of the sun. Therefore, just like for the year 2023, the ability to identify what was thought will be distinctly evident, and of course, the ability also to grab. Talents in handicrafts and crafts, as well as skills in working with hands in general, will manifest. Don't forget that this nakshatra is attributed with midwifery abilities, so she is extremely favorable for the birth of anything. What will the personality of the new year look like? Of average appearance, as it said. Not standing out from the crowd, no extravagance, because the headless Ketu is located in Lagna. Not that he will go mentally completely, also it is not excluded. But Lagna in Virgo is the sixth house of the natural horoscope. Hardly anyone voluntarily wants to engage in activities related to this house. However, to deal with health issues, resolve conflicts, sort out financial debts, maximum concentration and being in the moment are necessary. In 2024, there will be a criticism of others, a desire to be alone with oneself, and a constant acquisition of knowledge. The need to understand and unravel history and organize it neatly will increase incredibly. The good news is that the presence of Ketu in the first house will provide a deep understanding of how to overcome challenges. The know how of your ancestors will unfold powerfully and support you in difficult times with heightened intuition. I mentioned the transition of karmic axis in the post about the solar eclipse, about how for the lunar nodes the signs of Virgo and Pisces are the signs where they rest on vacation. Ketu's task is to remind us that we are beings not of this plane and here have lost nothing but cutting of all material things. In Virgo, Ketu somewhat forgets his purpose and directs his skills toward material prosperity. He is now in the nakshatra Chitra with her deity Vishvakarma, the universe's architect and patron of craftsmen, painters, and builders. Chitra evokes the desire for creation and construction as she is ruled by Mars, and Ketu's placement in her will contribute to the construction of something monumental and epochal, leaving a lasting mark for centuries. Her symbol is a precious stone or pearl, something enchanting and alluring, and quite valuable, by the way. In the second pada of Chitra, Ketu will help intuitively arrange and organize things to be pleasing to the eye. and discipline and order will become a deep inner conviction. Intuition will come to the aid even in the verbal battles. Another advantage of Ketu's placement in Chitra is that it helps reap the rewards of good karma, which come through righteous actions in past lives. Similarly, for Rahu in Pisces is the sign the farthest from his office in Virgo. In Pisces, Rahu behaves somewhat strangely for him, unpredictably. Suddenly, a thirst for the spiritual and philosophical awakens in him there, and with a tremendous force unique to him, he immerses himself into it. Rahu in the seventh house signifies that all he desires is harmony with the one who is opposite to him. In Pisces, this translates to relationships, partnerships with the entire world. This becomes his priority. He is willing to make any sacrifices, even placing his ambitions on the altar. We know that Rahu disrupts traditions, and he will choose a partner who does not conform to traditional measures of a different nationality, religion, status, etc. It must be said that his attachment will be strong, and the understanding of partner conveying without words, getting lost in the love for the universe ocean and forgetting the passage of time. By the way, Rahu is in Revati nakshatra, and this nakshatra's symbol is the clock face. She is governing everything that increases and grows, including time. The deity of Revati is the hospitable Pushan who ensures your safety on the road, finds lost things, and feeds you deliciously and diversely because he has an unnumberable amount of celestial cows in his possession. So, anything related to reproduction, breeding, and guardianship will also be of interest to Rahu. It should be noted that both lunar nodes are in the Vargotama position in the chart of 2024. Don't expect them to change by the end of the year. They are already harmoniously aligned with what they need to develop. The moon, and consequently the mind and desires, at the coming year is positioned in the regal nakshatra Magha. Her principal star is Regulus, the alpha star of Leo. The eminent mathematician, astronomer, and astrologer Varaha Mihira, who lived shortly before the birth of Prophet Muhammad, described this placement as following: the moon in Makkah bestows numerous servants, a need for the worship of gods and ancestors, and engagement in important matters. The symbol of Makkah is the royal throne room, and her deity are the Pitris, the ancestors who are the foundation of our existence. The ruler of the nakshatra is Ketu, representing our own consciousness past. Makkah utilized the past in her formation of the present. Her key concepts are royalty, leadership, and inspiration. The moon falls into the first pada, where she prominently expresses love for rituals, ceremonies, reverence for ancestors, a sense of pride of family traditions, and the necessity of progeny continuation. However, it is important not overly to romanticize Makkah. Her temperament is described as fierce and cruel. It's one of the intense bloody nakshatras. Clearly, the interest will be directed towards the question of where to place the commas and the phrase "pardon, impossible to execute." Please forgive me for the frequently quoting this proverb. Usually, the moon in Makkah vividly manifests a desire to preserve acquired wealth, as her goal is artha, the material prosperity. I remind you that the symbol of her ruler's Ketu is a flag planted on conquered territories. But in the new year, the moon is in the 12th house, where things are released, surrendered, and parted with. The significator of this house is Ketu, once again. And by the way, the moon and Ketu exchange nakshatras. The placement of the moon in the 12th house tunes the mind to transition into another state. To comprehend this, solitude is necessary. Here, the one gets aware of how the existence is futile and transient, how meaningless is accumulation. Charity, which is generally inherent in Magha, in the 12th house, is slight and involuntary. Moreover, she experiences the influences of both expansive Jupiter from initiating Aries and duty-bound Saturn from social Aquarius. With the ascendant in Virgo, the Sun in Sagittarius naturally falls into the 4th house, like it was in 2023. This is the darkest place in the horoscope, midnight, and the light of the sun is not visible at all. The theme of the abandoned paternal home, its warmth and comfort, as well as the longing for heartfelt relationship with the soul of all living beings, will also lead us to question of the validity of our existence here. After all, the sun, as the signifier of the soul, is actually not interested in being embedded in this material world. Not at all. Moreover, as the ruler of the 12th house in the chart of 2024, he is in the nakshatra Purva Ashadha, and her goal is moksha, the liberation from the bounds of the material world. And her other name is Aparajita, the invincible. Therefore, the sun, being here, directs his generally intense energy towards victory, if not of the spiritual over the material, then at least in the struggle for the truth, freedom, justice, as one understands it. This sphere is even more further expanded by the dharmic aspect of Jupiter on the Sun. Mars is also experiencing similar dharmic aspect of Jupiter, as he aligns with the luminary this time, or rather follows behind the Sun. Positioned in the fiery Sagittarius, in the first part of the nakshatra Mula, Mars is very strong and filled with bravery to do his warrior's trade for the righteous fight, the homeland, the home, and so on and so on. The symbol of Mula are put together roots, and Mars directs his fervent energy towards deep exploration of fundamentals and sources. In his fervor to delve to the very bottom of existence, Mars may disrupt many things. The deity of Mula is the destructive and material deprivation inducing nidity, calamity, in contrast to the prosperity bestowing Lakshmi. As the ruler of the 3rd and 8th houses, as the proprietor of enterprises named competition and transformation, Mars is ready for deprivations and ordeals of distant travels, the reverse turns and dismays. All in the quest to find that sacred truth, that inner peace and happiness that everyone strives for. By aspecting the 7th and 10th houses, Mars sacrifices relationships and focuses solely on this pursuit. Mercury, at the start of his exit from retrogression, is still in Scorpio, and the last part of the nakshatra Jyeshtha. He is also himself governing her. Jyeshtha means the eldest. She possesses extensive experience and applies it, making the most efficient use of resources. In this nakshatra, Mercury's energy is cleansed of fickleness and cunning, becoming more serious and focused on controlling the scattered mind and mass consciousness. The deity of Jesha is Indra, the king of gods, ruler of Svargaloka, the prototype of all thunderers and the heavenly fathers of the Proto-Indo-Europeans, dear Sparta. Mercury, with the energy of Indra, becomes an enlightened intellect, which is actually what Buddhi is. And it is this intellect that becomes the cause of pure thoughts that have not yet been distorted in illusory reality. The symbol of Jesha is a protective amulet or umbrella. Mercury's protection and patronage manifest in the dissemination of knowledge and the use of analytics. Forewarned and forearmed. This is the motto. His logic and pragmatism not only assist in competition, but also in social beneficial activities, since he governs not only the first but also the tenth house. This is reinforced by the tenth aspect of Saturn, which disciplines through material adversities, further developing Mercury's inventiveness. Also in Scorpio is Venus. That means that she will incline towards the secretive and competitive, as she is in the third house. Moreover, she is in the nakshatra Anuradha. The deity or deities of this nakshatra are Mitra, responsible for friendship, and one of the sons of the primordial mother, Aditi, and Radha, the embodiment of selfless love and devotion, the eternal beloved of the heart stiller Krishna. Cultivating and maintaining friendly connections, taking action and organizing, following Radha, these are the themes that will attract Venus, and we will all love this. The symbol of Anuradha is the beautiful lotus, a pure flower that grows from mud and muck, hinting that we will appreciate the quality of finding untainted purity and beauty amidst the complexities of turmoils of this world. Saturn is the ruler of this nakshatra and also aspects Venus. Therefore, in the new year, we will witness a love for discipline and even voluntary imposing restrictions and challenges upon ourselves. Saturn represents the people and service, and the primary energy of Anuradha is Radhana Shakti, joyful service, with a balance of sincere and conscious respect for others and oneself, without considering oneself humiliated in the process. I won't say much about Saturn. In the New Year's chart, he is in the sixth house, which, in addition to the mentioned service, brings stubbornness and perseverance, the ability to withstand disputes and overcome diseases, since Saturn is placed in and rules the sixth house. There is seriousness and tension in the areas of the fifth house as well: romance, education, and relationships with children. Saturn is still in Aquarius in the nakshatra Shatabhisha and will remain there throughout the year. This endows the ruler of the horoscope named the year 2024 with sincerity, self restraint, especially in what is ingested into the body, persistent hard work resulting in prosperity, and dedication to self exploration, as Shatabhisha is the peak of energy of her ruler, Rahu. The deity of Shatabhisha is Varuna, the elder brother of Indra, ruling over all waters. His name comes from the Sanskrit root vir, to cover, protect, and the symbol of Shatabhisha is a circle, creating unity. The goal of this nakshatra is to heal and to perfect, to appeal to humanity, while simultaneously breaking down all existing boundaries. To finish on a more optimistic note, let's look at expansive Jupiter. He is in Aries and the Ashwini nakshatra. The deities of this nakshatra are the twin brothers Ashwini Kumaras, celestial healers carrying the light of knowledge. Jupiter couldn't be in a better position to provide financial opportunities, promote philanthropy, and encourage the study of sciences for healing purposes. He significantly enhances the healing function of Ashwini and her thirst for movement. The ruler of Ashwini is Ketu. He represents the force of the past that can be utilized for the healing in the present. As we know, Ketu embodies the immense creative potential deeply embedded within you, accumulated through your ancestor over centuries, a material that leads you to your resurrection. Jupiter is in the fourth pada of Ashwini. Consider it the best placement for him in this nakshatra, bringing wealth, power, happiness from children, and fame. Being in the eighth house, it suggests that all these benefits may come through a partner. Additionally, there is a growing interest in the esoteric and occult, a hidden source of wealth, secret treasures, strong sexual attachment, or appetite. However, to keep things in check, it's worth noting that Jupiter is also under the gaze of Saturn. Therefore, various obstacles and constraints will be present. So, are you forewarned and forearmed? I hope so. Wish you from the bottom of my heart a happy coming New Year 2024. May you be blessed with happiness, peace, and beauty around you. Bye bye.